These orphans in India don't know it yet, but they're getting something special for Christmas this year. Coming from someone they've never met, half a world away in Virginia. 95-year-old Connie Vitolo has spent the past year making blankets for the children, one stitch at a time.
Well, how many blankets have you crocheted for the orphans so far?
A dozen, 12, and I'm on my 13th
On number
one.
13 right now. And I understand that you pray over every blanket.
Oh, I pray for every one of them. I pray to Jesus and I thank him every day. When I finish one, I said, thank you, Jesus. Don't let me die before I finish my blanket.
Not long ago, Mrs. Vitolo didn't care whether she lived or died. After a bad fall, she had to leave her New Jersey home and move in with her daughter in Virginia. Before long, depression set in.
And I say, I wish Jesus would call me home. But my daughter says, no, he don't want you yet.
I prayed. I said, Lord, you know, I'm putting it all in your hands and I'm trusting you that you're going to make a way for her to have, you know, to find her purpose here, you know. And he did.
Anne saw an ad on a bulletin board that volunteers were needed to make items for orphans in India. Mrs. Vitolo found her purpose.
She really has a lot of joy just doing this. She can do it all day long and she just doesn't get tired.
What that lady is doing, it's amazing, because something that is giving her life, which is also breathing in life and nurture to a child in another country.
Ranjit Abraham knows what it's like to be without a purpose. He grew up in the shadow of his father, a well-known pastor in India who founded 17 orphanages.
I never wanted to be a part of this because I don't know how it is in this country, but in my country, when you become a pastor and you come to the bottom of the food chain.
Ranjit was pursuing a graduate degree at Regent University when an unlikely partnership emerged.
Out of all my classmates, there's one in particular that I don't necessarily get along with, being an African-American woman from New York City, having a very strong personality, and he being an Indian male from a very chauvinistic country. So we didn't get along. But God had a bigger plan.
Ranjit and Aisha are now best friends, part of a movement called glocalization, encouraging people to serve at a local level for global impact. After finishing graduate school, Ranjit returned to India. He and Aisha work across the globe to provide his father's orphanages with more than basic needs, like playrooms for children who never had toys, or homemade blankets to cover them with warmth and love. They see Mrs. Vitolo as a perfect example of a glocal servant.
To have a little Italian grandmother in the middle of America to say, I'll take my frail hands and I will create something for you that's a practical need.
Versus like, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at your heart. What does that mean to us? But when you see what Mrs. Vitolo is doing, it makes complete sense, you know?
Oh, here he is.
Once a year, Ranjit returns to the United States. This time, he made a new friend.
Hello! Raji.
Yes!
How are you? I'm Connie. I'm the one making blankets for your little orphans.
Oh my God, so good to see you.
You are good looking, buddy.
Am I? Do you want me to show you some pictures of the kids that are gonna get this?
Yeah, I would love to see them.
Can you see that? That's them.
Ah.
They've come from the streets, you know? They don't have a parent.
Right.
They don't have a mother. They don't have a father.
That's what I want. People that don't have anybody. And if this one of these can cover them when they're cold, I'll be happy. I wish I had one here. I would hug them and kiss her. Jesus has a purpose for us all, but I never thought he had a purpose like this for me. And I'm very happy and honored and humble. Jesus, I love you. I thank you and I praise you all my days until the day I come home to you.